Good night, everyone. Welcome to another show, another Sports Frenzy podcast. And from your see the face, you know that it's Levon. And have tonight with me, Kims. And we're here to discuss we're here to discuss a particular topic that I haven't seen anyone touch on as yet. So I just wanted to be one of the first person to actually bring up the topic and shed some light on it. So, as you can see, the topic that I want to talk about tonight is: will this be the last World Cup for three of the arguable best players that we have seen in our generation? Because, yeah, people talk about the Pele, the Maradonas, and all those people, but in terms of what I've seen, Messi, Christie, and Neymar to a lesser extent are some of the most talented players that I've seen. Now, you know the age of Christie already. Next year, Christie is 37, so when he goes to the World Cup, he'll actually be 37. No, Lionel Messi is what, 34, going on 35. So basically, you can say it's a last World Cup for those two. Now, I saw Neymar came out the other day and said that he doesn't think that he has the drive to go on after this World Cup. So there'll probably be a case that this will be his last World Cup as well. So what we're going to do tonight, we're going to just look at all three guys and the teams that they play for and what chances do they stand of actually winning the World Cup. Because you know that one of the things that people normally cuss Messi about is that Messi went to a World Cup and never propelled his team to the final. That was 2014 when Germany beat them 1-0. Because a lot of people killed him for that out to this day. So we're going to look at the teams that they both play for. Well, they all play for, I should say, and see the chances that they actually stand to win this World Cup or if they can win this World Cup. So, without further ado, let's look at Messi. People are saying that this is one of the better assembled Argentinian side they have seen over the years. In terms of midfield was always their Achilles heel, but now they have a quality midfielder in Rodrigo de Paul. That man seems like he brings stability and that presence into that midfield, right? And then we look at Leandro Paredes, who plays for PSG, another good player as well in that midfield. So we look at the midfield, it no exist. And unlike before, where you know that he was playing with guys like Higuain and all those guys, and mind you, I like Kun Aguero, but Kun Aguero for club versus Kun Aguero for Argentina, two total different players. It's like it just Kim's always talk about Leon Bale playing for club. Leon Bale is like this. When he plays for Jamaica, he's like this. So it's kind of a similar vibe when it comes down to Kun Aguero. No, you
Yeah.
have this youngster coming through. Lautaro Martinez plays good for Inter Milan in the leagues, and he has to at home playing for Argentina as well. And also, this youngster, his name is Nico Gonzalez. He's also another good one because I knew him from he was at, I believe it was Stuttgart, and then he went over to Fiorentina. So he's another one that has added another creative spark to Argentina. And then what they also have is that, yes, Romero is doing good for them, but at the level that Emiliano Martinez is playing, Romero has never played there, if we're being honest. So when
Mhm.
you look at their team overall, they have a good assembled team. Even the defense, yes, they still use Nicolas Otamendi. I know that said that the man no good. Him no good none at all. But Christian Romero, quality centre back. Hasn't
Mhm.
got the opportunity as Spurs as yet, but when you check this guy, he's a good player. I remember that I said it on the show that I want him at United, but that never materialized. But barring that, he's a good player. So with the team that I basically just listed, because I basically call off their team a while ago. Do you think that they have what it takes to actually go on to get Messi this World Cup?
Most definitely, and I believe that winning that Copa America as well. One thing I know, in any space, whether it be sports or personal life or whatever, the less pressure you're under, the more you perform, right? Because there's really very little expectations here because Messi, as you could see when he won the Copa, is like the world come off his shoulders, and the world come off of those other player shoulders as well because they them hear about it as well. So, and I believe that this team, same basically the same team from Copa, is not that Messi centric. So it's not, oh, if Messi not do it, that means no salt. You have other players who can go in there and create. Obviously, Messi, the maestro, Messi are the one who, is the greatest on the team. But you have other players who can step up and get the job done. Unlike those other times, I see somebody in the comment, what name? Tyrese McKenzie.
Tyrese. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see him say Messi will flop again. I don't know. And I get the Jamaican thing. If you not score, you flop. You know, you could have, if you not score, you supposed to score. You and this, you and that. But there's a particular bias or a particular narrative that persons tend to push when them not rate a player or them rate a other player more than another player. But I didn't think Messi flop in 2014 World Cup, because when name Higuain, I think Higuain really and truly, cost Argentina. Not even gonna say Messi, but him cost Argentina that World Cup because those goals are what Higuain scoring and sleep. But with this team, this Argentinian team look more balanced. The camaraderie, the camaraderie look like it's there. Look like normally, when I see the Argentina team of the past, it always look like there is some grudge in the team. I don't probably Higuain grudge this person. Yes, Dybala can't get a chance because Messi and Dybala and a friend. Messi pick the team. All kind of, Jamaican say if you know go say it nearly go so. All right. So as a result of that, I just believe that with Messi out there, probably obviously his last World Cup, so they're going to want to do their best. And in football, teams need a little bit of luck. Everybody needs luck in a sports. You need a little bit of luck. Sometimes them say it's preferred to be lucky than to be good, right? So if them get a bit of luck, them get just like England. England for the last two competitions, World Cup and Euro, we get the easier side of the draw. So you kind of want that. So if you get the easier side of the bracket, and you end up in the semi-finals, finals, and any card can play after that. So I believe
True.
that Argentina, obviously Argentina, Portugal, Brazil are different fish, but Argentina, Portugal, I believe that Argentina stand a better chance to win this World Cup than Portugal.
All right, so let's look at it now. In the qualifying of the CONMEBOL so far, Argentina is currently in second place. They have
Mm-hmm.
accumulated about 22 points so far from, I believe it is what, 9 games? Is it 9 or
Believe.
10? Producer? 10? All right, so it's 10 games.
Mm-hmm.
You know that Brazil is way out front and what, 28 points? So, yeah, they have done well so far. But
Mm-hmm.
generally, we always make an argument and say that when you look at the quality of football that is played in South America versus in Europe, it's like up here to here. There's a huge disparity, and it has been shown because, for instance, the other day, I believe it was Peru who beat a team. Like they went away and beat the team, right? They beat a quality opposition. Now they went to Bolivia. Bolivia is languishing in last place in the thing, right? And Peru lost to Bolivia. So what I'm saying is that when it comes down to consistency from the rest of teams down in CONMEBOL, it's lacking. You look at a Uruguay. Uruguay, I believe, are currently in either third or fourth. And
Mm-hmm.
when you look at them, they went away to Argentina. Argentina suffered. Well, they drew 0 the previous game, and then when they got Uruguay, they whopped them up by 3 goals to 0. Right. So what I'm saying is that the level of football that is being played down there, is it a true reflection of what, one, the ranking, two, all these two teams have played? Because some people have been impressed, but when you look at the opposition that they are playing against, is it fair to say that the level of competition is just weak and poor?
Um, in South America, so all right, so like South America would remind me a good parallel would probably be Bundesliga or probably La Liga, where there's just probably three teams, it's okay. No matter what, these three or four teams will always, you don't know which order it's going to be, but these three or four teams will always be there. Definitely I believe the competition is not as good as we would like it to be, apart from if Argentina and Brazil are play, or Argentina, Colombia, Brazil, Colombia, Uruguay, those teams. But even like a Uruguay, it's still a little beating stick. You're not really expect. 'Cause I think the Uruguay get 2-0 the other day from Argentina. Huh? Three? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't not even Uruguay would I think they can put up a strong challenge like those other so I think it's just really Brazil and Argentina, and then you have the others. Like
Mm.
a one half game Colombia can probably come in and pose a challenge, and so but I really Argentina and Brazil really. So I would say the competition, you know from a holistic standpoint is not really as good as we would.
Okay. Here's Michelle saying that Messi and Neymar are part of strong teams, but they don't have strong mentality. Ronaldo have strong mentality, but not strong team. Quote, get it, no want it, and want it, I get it.
Mm, do you agree with that? Let me ask you. Do you agree with that?
Internationally, I'd say yes, to an extent. Reason why I'm saying that,
Mm-hmm.
again, you pointed out that Higuain should have done that and whatnot, but there always seemed to be an hurdle. Otherwise, someone they won the Copa the other day, there always seems to be an hurdle when it comes on to say Copa America and other international competitions for a Messi, for argument's sake, right? Because teams that have beaten him in the past, we're speaking about teams like Chile and those teams that has beaten Argentina. When Messi see them team there in a local in other qualification, I beat him and beat up them side there, When you see
Yeah.
a Uruguay, you make a Uruguay look like they're not try, but it's when it comes on to semi-finals and finals, there always seem to be a mental blockage. That's what I get from the comment in a sense, and that's how I see it. I don't
Uh,
even necessarily agree with it, but that's how I see it.
all right. So this is the thing, right? And all right. So for example, the first international trophy that Cristiano won, right? This man was on the bench, right?
Mm.
But best believe him fans them count it. You that's where say if you don't know football, you just say, boy, Ronaldo was a man of the match of this game. This man, like if you don't really understand. So like these are the little things. But for example, with all right, if you look on the game, I don't know if people probably don't remember the Copa America where they play against Chile, right? Like there were so many chances created by Argentina that they just didn't score. You understand what I'm saying? But for example, like a Portugal,
Recently concluded when I'm speaking about.
no, man. The one of them did lose to Chile, man.
Oh.
Chile, when Sanchez did a celebrate and all them look thing them.
Mm.
But when you look upon like a Portugal team, remember the first trophy, Cristiano come off the on the bench and a coach and all of them look thing they were do. But yet still Cristiano got so much praise. Like say he was the one instrumental in that final. And I understand that building up to the final, he scored goals, da 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 da. But on that final day, he wasn't there to do anything. His teammates was the one who really lifted the team to win. But
People in
it,
Christy coach said that day.
but in the past, the teammates of Lionel Messi have just let him down. Like if you're a baller like Messi now gonna score every game, but and then the focal point will always be on Messi. So then now he will create the chances for other persons, and them just not score. The Agueros of the world. When you look at Aguero play for Argentina, as you mentioned earlier, you just swear say he's probably a Javon Watson out there. The man just stooped down to that level like so poor. I'm like, I can't understand why the drop off because he's still playing with quote unquote great players. I play with the Di Maria, the Messi, and so, but him just can't seem to get that club level. So I wouldn't really agree with that comment. I wouldn't really agree with that comment because like today, right? Today,
Mm.
Ronaldo scored a hat trick. You'd never know the penalty in that hat trick. You'd think it's such a spectacular hat trick. Like oh god, and you'd says against probably a Spain or a Germany. But then when you
Mm-hmm.
look, but so these are the
Yes,
things like
Luxembourg.
man, look, man. So like when you come on to those things, I really can't agree. And I'm not going to say Cristiano is not a great player, but I believe I believe his thing is like over exaggerated. I believe his greatness is over exaggerated, and I think Messi greatness the same thing. Want to say me do to Shelly that what a lot of people do to Messi.
Yeah, but otherwise I'm that though. And before I move on, I just want to say big up to everybody in the chat. See you all. Big up Tyrese, big up Owen, big up Albert, big up Michelle, Lataya, Roadball TV, big up yourself, brother. Well, I'm not the time later your place, man. Pepe Paul, big up yourself, the boss. Um, So Devin, the discussion we're focusing on your place, because you're a man that loves Brazilian football and your boy
Mm,
Vinny Jr. and all those people. So we're
mm.
currently discussing Argentina for that matter. Kems is saying that he believes they stand a good chance, but a lot of people are saying that they think that,
Good chance to talking about it for the next World Cup.
yeah.
Okay, okay.
Kems and I agree that when you look at the team that they have assembled since Copa and before Copa, it's a more all-rounded team. What do you say about that?
One thing I like with them, I can't remember the players, but I've seen them playing like the defense. You know, it looks good, and you know, not Neymar, Messi's there, and it's a better all-round team. You know, before they're always characterized by great attackers, and they still have some good attacking players. But I like what the defense been playing. You know, because even in the game with Brazil and in the Copa, they were holding it, and they weren't beating teams by a lot, and they weren't giving up a lot of goals. So I saw it with the defense. I think they beat Brazil 1-0 in that final.
Yeah, could have easily been 3-1.
Right, right. They could have scored more, but you know the defense looks good, and that's what I like with them. And I'm thinking they have a great chance for the next World Cup, but you know it's yet to be seen. And Messi and them they're not overrated, and Ronaldo greatness is not overrated as much as Kim make it look to be.
All right,
What? Hold,
before
hold on. What did you say?
Oh yeah, you're saying Messi, Ronaldo's greatness is overrated. Nah, it's not overrated as you make it to be. Because a lot of times I see when him score for you, I see greatness. So I'm surprised I hear you say overrated now. And
All
like
right.
when Man you down and out and give you a goal,
Well,
all I
that is
can see in caps,
well. But
greatness.
that, but
And
then
now we're
that's
seeing them being overrated. I don't understand. Probably I was
okay.
listening to everything that
All
you
right.
were saying.
So, all right. Can you give me a chance to explain?
Yeah, because I never heard fully. So I would really want to hear.
Okay.
Sorry if you have to repeat yourself, but
So,
I would want to understand the context in which you're saying it.
all right, most definitely. So Christian scoring against Villarreal, right? In well, that he did in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Greatness, greatness. Right? That is greatness. Cristiano scoring a hat trick against Luxembourg. No, brother. Come on now.
Luxembourg.
Yeah, come on. Like you just will say this is the next Luxembourg. Come on. Like you just will say this is the next. This is a Brazil. This is a Germany and play against the way how the fans were acting. Like,
Oh,
like
so you mean the fans make those games look more than it is?
no,
That's what.
yeah.
Okay,
That's
okay.
why I'm saying the greatness is overrated at times. But then you know I want to
But
see Chris.
stick up in. Remember that internationally, it's not a case as if you play against the top of the top teams on a consistent basis. So it's based on the opposition that you get, you have to play against. So, all right, let's look at it now. Cristiano playing against Luxembourg, right?
Uh-huh.
Cristiano took like 10 shots and say, he don't score none at all. You know what people are going to come here and do? They're going to beat him, say, oh, if you play against bug side Luxembourg and can't score.
Those are the fans who really don't really understand football. Like no, you gotta have them kind of people there, who just don't understand and who just want talk and who just want a little bit of attention. But what I'm looking for, like Cristiano scored against Luxembourg, whatever the team want name. Okay, cool, no problem. Like me see what I'm name there. Tammy Abraham score against. So the team name Andorra. What your team I got jump up and say, yeah, Tammy Abraham a big no, like come on no. Let me not care about them thing there. Like, all right, so for example, let me make an analogy. Like I play like basketball. If I see LeBron score 100 points against um Charlotte. You think me I go jump up? Yeah, LeBron. Yeah, big. Like, no. But score 100 against the Warriors. Score 100 against the Nets. It's just elevated competition for me. That really define greatness. You can't define greatness against them little bottom teams. That's not for me.
So
That's
how
just
should the fans react when Ronaldo? I don't get what you're saying. How should the fans react when a Ronaldo score a trick against Luxembourg? They must just say, okay, that's a good game, and just leave
good
it
game
there.
baller. Good game baller.
Okay.
Good game.
Yeah.
Good game baller. What do you mean?
Well, Kims, you're not, all right.
Oh,
Ronaldo is
oh.
one of my favorite players because personally for me, I prefer Ronaldo play over Messi. It's just a preference of the style of play, right? But
Yeah.
when I saw Christie scoring that hat trick against Luxembourg, I was like, Okay, it's Luxembourg. He normally does this. He scored. He had before today. I believe he scored like seven. It's either 6 or 7 goals against this opposition. So it's
Mhm,
like it's just another bug opposition, and he's going to score against them. He does what he should do. You
mhm.
get a bug, you beat up on a bug. That's it. Move on.
Yeah, but then the thing, well, I know they always like show the tally about the teams them score against, and surprisingly, when it's those big name teams, when it's those big name teams, I don't see as much goals against those big name teams as I see against those Luxembourg and those Luxembourg and all them little small bottom feeder teams. When they might play against the Germany and the Spain and the France, I
Hold on,
think it
hold
was
on. Stick up here. Don't try to tell him man thing. Man score one against Spain, man. Come on.
no. I'm not saying he doesn't score, but I'm saying
Yeah, the
the
consistency. I get what
Yeah,
you're saying,
I
man.
I think wasn't it in the Euros where it was the first time he must score against I think France or one of them team there when he had scored the penalty, and then I
Mhm.
think he had scored after that as well. Watch it, the first time was
And
but
German,
again
I believe Germany was in the mix as well.
exactly either France or Germany, one of those teams. But that is what I'm talking about. I'm sure I know one time he played them, or a two time, or a three time,
Yeah,
right?
true.
So that is what I'm talking about. But if you were supposed to listen to Cristiano Ronaldo fans and all the sensationalists out there, including Mr. Devin right there, so if you're supposed to listen to them, you'd have swear say this standard is right across the board. He must score a trick against all of it, whether big or small, he must score a trick. Whether medium, he must score a trick. And that is what I'm talking about. So I'm saying you score a trick against this team, you're a good game baller. You do what you're supposed to do. Let's keep it moving. A World Cup we're pre, that's what we want to do. Because now in the World Cup, let me show you what's gonna happen now, Levon. And I promise you, we can record this and we can play it back when the World Cup
It's
starts.
recorded, man.
All right, we're gonna keep this one, archive it, right? It's when the World Cup starts and he doesn't do what he's supposed to do against those big teams. You're gonna hear them talk about he's now 37, or what we can expect from a ball at 37. Look how much things him do. Two, him not have no help, and three, well, when them get all 4-1, 5-1, at least him score. Those are the three excuses you're gonna hear every single time. I can promise you. And then the fans
Okay.
them have
Okay. So yes, Ricardo Robinson in the chat, and welcome to the stream, Ricardo Robinson and Dale Francis. So easier saying that the game today had nothing to do with greatness, lol, but you have to play who is before you. Yeah, that's what I said. I agree with that.
Yeah, you play who's in front of you, of course, but the the sensationalism, all the loving, oh, big ball, and the greatness and the goat. No, I don't want to hear none of that against this team.
Yeah,
Show
man.
me
And
that.
big up Jay Dixon. Say Jay Dixon jump on the stream as well. Big up yourself, boss. Go ahead, Kims.
Yeah, yeah. So that's just the thing. That's all.
All right. Now we look at Devin's favorite team. This team has been the team that a lot of people are hyping that hey, this team is going to win the World Cup and they're going to break the European streak, and they have not adapted the European type of play. They don't really play the fancy type of ball game, and all shenanigans there is that you can find to support their narrative. Now, the first issue with this Brazilian team, for me
Mm-hmm.
personally, is their midfield and their forward line to an extent, right? Because you're looking at the midfield, and if a man like Fred is going to start in a team, that doesn't sound good in at all, So, Devin,
Mm.
this is your team. You've been watching them since TT has taken back over. Yes, they look like a more organized unit. I have to give them that. However, are you impressed to an extent that you'll say they're actually one of the favorites for this World Cup?
No, I'm not. Honestly, I'm not overly excited. I'm not overly excited. I'm gonna support them because my team. I'm not overly excited. I'm getting like get used to like being at the World Cup and being so disappointed being at the World Cup. So I'm not really overly excited saying that okay, we're gonna win no World Cup or right now, title for favorites. And I've considered the forward line. When you have that guy, Richardson as a forward, all no disrespect to Richardson, but like that mean being the forward for Brazil. Like I can't be overly excited about a team with that man being our striker. And like when it comes down to the World Cup too, at some point I'm looking to say, okay, Neymar may get injured. So and then it's like once he goes down, the entire spirit of the team seems to be like so depleted. You know, once he gets an injury. So honestly, I'm not overly excited. I'm hoping for the best. You know, we have some good young players in there, and I hope they get to put them in, you know, the coach put them in the team. And you know, he's playing them more like Fred. Oh gosh, man, I can't manage to see Fred in the midfield, man. I'm sure that we can find some better players by next year to see if we can get a replacement for Fred. I don't know who's gonna come in there, but honestly, I'm not gonna say they're the favorites. I'm not overly excited by them. Neymar, I don't know if it was. I didn't check the source. I saw somebody put in something. So this may be his last World Cup because he's trying to get. I don't know if it's
Yeah, man,
actually
he made
validated.
he made a statement, man, saying that his drive and all those things. Because Neymar is a diva, you know, if you're being honest.
Yeah,
Neymar is
yeah,
a diva.
definitely, definitely. Probably if his sister tell him to go back for another World Cup, he may actually do so. So I don't know. But I'm not overly excited. My main thing is I'm not overly excited with saying that they're gonna be no favorites. I'm just hoping for the best because they have disappointed me too many times. And from that trashing that Germany gave us from that time, I still haven't recovered since. You know.
Okay. But my question to you know, because a lot of fans, Brazilian fans, for argument's sake, don't like Fred in that team. So you have this guy that is playing for Zenit, and you saw him at the Olympics, and I think he's
Hmm.
a quality player. From Bragantino days come right through, he's a quality player.
I was trying to
No,
remember.
would you drop him back into that midfield, or would you actually play Lucas Paqueta in that midfield instead? Because Paqueta can play as a cam, you know. So Paqueta on the wing, or Paqueta in the midfield, or Claudino in the midfield, Claudino on the wing. Which one?
Well, I like the Claudino guy, the guy that from Zenit, because I saw him in the World Cup on the Olympics.
Olympics.
Yes,
Yeah.
I watched much like all but probably one of all the games of Brazil in the World Cup. I watched them, and he looked good. He looked real good. I guess on the international scene, going to a World Cup level maybe a higher. No, not maybe. It's definitely a higher level of competition. But I
Mm.
think he can cope well because he may be playing against some of those same players too. Because by that time, come those players will be matured and being in the senior team of their respective teams. So I think he can do well. So, but anybody except Fred, because if you put that guy, I'm sure you'll get a better result as opposed to having Fred. Because I know he can do. I saw him I've seen him and I watch him in the Olympics and he did well. He did well. So I think he can matriculate to the higher level because this World Cup is totally different from Olympics. So I
True.
think he can definitely do well at the World Cup as well. But
Okay.
it's an upgrade to me from Fred. I don't know where we're gonna look. I gotta look around and watch and see to see who else we can replace like for Richardson because he's not gonna cut it. Like when you look at all the big teams and they have look at their striker compared to our striker for a Brazil team. Come on, man, that's a joke.
So are you looking? So one thing I get to realize with you, and I don't know if you're a true Brazilian fan or, like when your mommy grow you up in a church, so you just continue to go church because
Mm.
your mommy grow you. That seem like how you are. Are you a big name kind of player? Like you want a big name up there, or you just want a player who is indeed producing?
But
Wh-
both.
Which is which is it? Which is it you want? You want a big name player,
I
or
want to
because
play who's producing and quality forward. Quality forward who's producing.
so
And I haven't seen how much Richardson has produced on the international scene.
I think Richarlison is a good little player. I think he's a good.
Decent.
You
Decent.
know, with the quality we have around him, the Neymar, your boy Vinny Jr. I believe he's
Mhm.
And
those people are.
to be frank, Kims, I'm going to agree with you. You know why? When he has played for Brazil, he actually plays well.
He
Yeah,
did well in the World Cup in the Olympics.
he
Yeah, he
did well
did.
in he did well in Copa as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well in Copa, like him score a goal, but he did offside in the final. But but I believe that sometimes we go for too much big name. We want the big name them up there, and we need to start looking at the performances and with Neymar and Vinny Jr. and those players demanding attention. I believe Richarlison can, them man they're very sneaky, very sneaky center forward, sneaky and get one or two goals here. And once them man they have the confidence, the sky is the limit for them kind of money.
All right, so I'm going to pose a question to both of you guys. I want both of you to give me an honest opinion, not because you might like the player, but
Mm-hmm.
honesty. Have you guys think that Neymar has somewhat not fulfilled the potential that we saw that he has? Basically, what I'm saying is that has he underachieved?
All right. So before I can answer if he underachieved, it depends how you're looking at it. If you're going to
All
say
right, let me
because
just.
isn't he the lead in something for Brazil?
I'm talking overall and not just for Brazil.
I wouldn't.
All right, listen where I'm coming from. I'm coming from a standpoint where remember that people saw Neymar as the heir apparent to one Cristiano and Lionel Messi. So coming off that hype from Santos days, come right through, and even when he was at Barcelona, could they said that he hasn't followed through on the promise that a lot of us saw initially?
Hmm, all right. So I would say in terms of championship, probably from that standpoint, in terms of Neymar underachieve at club level, him win, him win. Unless you got talk about and even Champions League, we can't even put it down to that. Because I would say probably the biggest mistake he make are for leave Barcelona. That's how me would say. Probably that's the big, for leave Barcelona when he did. Because at that time I think he was ascending.
Hmm.
He was ascending, and then him leave Barcelona and go PSG, and no matter what kind of level you play at PSG, there's always going to be like an asterisk beside you. Always going to
Then,
be.
then again, you have to factor in terms that he left Barcelona where it was said that he was under the shadow of one Lionel Messi.
Mm-hmm.
Went over to PSG and basically Mbappe is the man.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
again, remember that he left Barcelona to actually farm his own team, and as people put it, he went to get a team that was his own. Now, when he went
Yep.
to that team, he was outshone by a youngster. So looking at it from that standpoint, I remember that if memory serves me correct, I believe Neymar has missed over close to 30% to between 30 to 50% of PSG games since he has been there, right? So if you factor in all those things, wouldn't you say that he has somewhat underachieved at club level?
Well, I guess if you put it that way, then you can say that. But I've watched Neymar play, and I think he's a
And
player.
Kems, another thing that you have to factor in as well.
Mm-hmm.
Again, remember that people saw this man as the heir apparent. He hasn't won a Ballon d'Or to date, and Neymar isn't getting any younger.
All right. So you see them like a Ballon d'Or argument there. I think I don't know because look, I think Lewandowski will win the Ballon d'Or. Is he? You think he's going to win it? So then we cannot.
But
So then
it's,
I'm not saying Neymar performed to the standard of, for example, like a Lewandowski way. You can then have the argument. So if you come from that standpoint, then we can say
that's
yeah,
where I'm coming from because
yeah,
remember,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
remember, you know, based
Uh-huh.
on how this man is, we're looking at it and saying that, you see, based
Yeah,
on the
but
talent that he had or has, his number should have been better, yeah? He should have put himself in the conversation to
true,
win the Ballon d'Or. Because
true.
if you look at Lewandowski, you can't hide from the fact. You
Mm-hmm.
can't hide from Lewandowski because number one, Champions League with Bayern, breaking records all over there in Germany. Some record from Gerd Muller days. I know people rate Gerd Muller and things like that. So the records that are
So you want so this
Reverse the question back to Ken. So I'm asking him the question now.
uh-huh.
When Neymar burst on the scene as the hottest thing around 2010, right?
Uh-huh.
And everybody was saying that he would be a future Ballon d'Or winner. Would you
Uh,
expect that time he would have won Ballon d'Or by now, 11 years
uh
after?
well, probably not, but all right. So this is the difference between Neymar and these other players, right? Like a Messi, a Ronaldo, a Lewandowski, right? Them three, them and they breathe, eat, sleep football. Neymar, I think right now, Neymar play football because him good. Like, I don't think him love football. Like, I don't think he has a passion. I don't think he has a drive. I don't think football when him eat, sleep, and breathe like them Monday. So,
Mhm.
I believe where that's concerned. I'm thinking right now. I think right now him just go through the motions. I don't know. Probably something that happen differently with it. But the Neymar, the same thing I want to talk about. The Neymar will burst onto the scene, and the Neymar now are two different kind of name. Neymar will just burst onto the scene. eat, breathe, sleep football. The
Yeah,
Neymar now are just a bag
that's
of
a hype
nine
life.
yard, a bag of angles, him want shift man, pile man, and them thing they fun feel. You understand what I say? Probably 1 and 2 times when him lose a final, you will see him go ball and them little thing they ball for the camera and them little thing they but like alright, this is my thing, right? And this is what I'm if me see a player ball, like you ball your eyes out, the next time you're playing, you're supposed to come with vengeance in your eye. Cause you don't want ball again. But Neymar ball again. So like this is what I say when it come on to him, like I just not think him I not think him love the football. Like okay, you're there job and your job a pay you so well. You know like the job, but shit, it a pay you well, so where me I go?
Exactly.
Right? Yeah, where me I go? Maybe just take the money. But when I think if Neymar wasn't getting as much money as he's getting, wasn't getting as much endorsement as he's getting, I think he'd have left the sport a long time ago. But I think him love the football.
Okay. Devin, I
Well,
wanted to chime in on that.
yeah, but you see, Levon, well, I was gonna say I have a problem in the way you ask the question, but I'm gonna stick to that. You ask the question to say like, all right, based on him being the heir apparent to Neymar and not
No, to
Neymar,
Messi and
Ronaldo and
Cristiano.
Messi, he has
Uh-huh.
underachieved. If you look at it from that perspective, you ask the question from that perspective, you'd want to more inclined to say yes. But overall, if you think him underachieving his career overall, no, I wouldn't say he would have
All
underachieved.
right, Devin, listen again. You remember the question? You
No,
remember the question that Josh? You remember the question that Josh came in and asked? Remember 2010, when people
but
said that
you
this
structure the
emerging
question
talent.
because you want us to say yes, he underachieved. The way you structure that question, Levon, is like you leave us no choice but to say yes, he has underachieved. Because you put them preambles to say, oh, he was the heir apparent to Neymar, I keep saying Neymar, to Messi and to Ronaldo. Of course, when you structure that way, you're gonna say he has underachieved.
No,
Correct.
but look at it, Devin. Look at it, Even if you remove those two from the conversation,
But,
would
but
you
all right,
would
go ahead,
you
go
say
ahead.
Neymar is the best player in the world?
No, but if you come and just ask me the question, as Neymar underachieved in his career, I would say he has not underachieved. But if you ask me,
Listen, my follow-up question, Devin. Listen to follow-up. Remove Cristiano, remove Messi from the conversation.
Mhm.
Is one Neymar dos Santos Jr. the best player in the world?
Mbappe is better than him right
but
now.
that is not. That is all right. That's a follow-up question. But I want to go back to your original question. I'm going to answer your original question to say no, he has not underachieved in his career overall. He has not underachieved. I would not say he's underachieved.
Can I
When you structure the question like that, I'm more inclined to say yes compared to being the heir apparent. But I saw. I mean,
Remember that we're not talking about Brazil, we're talking about Neymar at the club level.
yeah. I mean, people are gonna say he was in the shadow of Messi, but he assisted in those two.
Yeah, man, Chris, I soon get in, Chris.
People would say he was under the shadow of Messi. But remember, he won two La Liga while he was there, and he won a Champions League with Barcelona too. And he contributed as well. I mean, Messi was the man, of course, but he still had success there. We can't count same with PSG because everybody gonna say that's a bush league. So I guess the challenge for him at PSG is for him to win a Champions League. But his career, nah, I wouldn't say Neymar is not underachieved, and I'm not gonna allow you to say that and not defend him on
Devin, this is a Brazilian. This is a Brazilian that holds no punches. This man just talking, man. Your shake saying that Neymar is a bug.
Yo,
all right, Chris, I can chime in now.
Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
All right, so good night, gentlemen. What made it? First of all, yes, I do agree that Neymar has underachieved because I can name a lot of people: Karim Benzema, I can name Luka Modric, I can name yes, Luka Modric. I can say Luka Modric. Kylian Mbappe definitely is better than Neymar at this point in time.
Lewandowski.
Now, and even emerging talents like Erling Haaland, even Pedri is coming up through the ranks. I'm not saying Pedri is better, but he's a fast rising superstar. Now, you mentioned Devin Neymar at Barcelona. It was the leadership of Sergio Busquets, the leadership of on the front line like Lionel Messi and Luis Suarez that kept Neymar in check. You notice when he left Barcelona and went to PSG, it all went downhill for Neymar.
How
When he went,
did he reach? He brought them to the furthest they have ever been in the Champions League. PSG brought them to semi-final.
so are we going to forget one of the biggest reasons as well as to why PSG went to that Champions League final? Was it Neymar was the reason? That was Neymar's best season, you know, no doubt about that, you know, David.
Right.
No
He
doubt
went
about that.
to the final
But
against
Kylian Mbappe, through this PSG team, is the man for PSG, Paris Saint-Germain. There's no two ways about that. Neymar is not the man. Neymar left Barcelona, which I think was a mistake, a big mistake on Neymar's club career, went to PSG, went and won the league that they were winning before Neymar got there, and still has not achieved what they should achieve. He went to the finals, yes, and I admit that was his best season, no doubt about that. But even in his best season, a lot of people were still talking about Mbappe more than Neymar. And you have to look at the fact that, and Kems is right as soon as Kems come on, when he was at Santos and went to Barcelona, you see that part of Neymar where he eat, lived, breathe, drink football, that was the Neymar we saw. And that was the reason why when he was at Barcelona, Devin, he was a very important man in that front three with Messi and with Luis Suarez. He left because of money and has underachieved because he wanted to leave the shadows of Lionel Messi. And in turn, basically gone back to the shadow of Lionel Messi, because Lionel Messi gone to Paris Saint-Germain, and he's now under the shadows of Kylian Mbappe Lotin. So what was Neymar's achievement leaving Barcelona for so much money just to go under somebody else's shadow that at 17, 18 years old was winning the league with Monaco when persons never thought they would have, and took that Monaco team and went very far in that Champions League season before he left and went to PSG. Neymar has underachieved as a club footballer, and without Barcelona, he would not win anything significant.
Wow.
But all right, so you're saying in those two titles that the domestic titles, and don't tell me about before you went there now. So when he was there, minus Neymar, Barcelona would have still won the league, and in the Champions League, they would have still won the league.
Devin, you're missing my point. I don't think you understand what my point is. I never took anything away from Neymar's inclusion in that front three. But you see a man like Messi, a man like Sergio Busquets, a man like Luis Suarez that was there to keep Neymar in check. Name one person of Busquets' caliber, of Dani Alves' caliber in terms of leadership that is over PSG, that has kept Neymar in check since he left Barcelona. You tell me.
So him being
nobody there.
So him
because Neymar is the type of footballer that needs guidance. That is Neymar. Neymar needs guidance as a footballer. He needs it.
All right. You said he had his best season when he went to the final. So who was giving him the guidance then? Who was giving him the guidance? Because you said Messi wasn't there and Busquets and those guys. So who was giving him the guidance when he took them to the final?
So
along with Mbappe.
Huh?
When he took them to the final along with Mbappe, who was giving him the guidance? You make it seem because he wasn't on a certain guidance that leads to his underachievement. I can't see how the both of them relate to each other. Like him not being under a proper guidance.
What? Tell him again. Tell him again, Levon.
So
tell him again.
Pochettino was guiding him, man.
Thomas Tuchel was the most disciplined coach that they have had since Didier Deschamps was at PSG. was the most disciplined coach. And because of Thomas Tuchel's style of coaching, they kicked him out even after that Champions League final. So yes, there was still guidance from the coaching standpoint. So what are you telling me? He needs the guidance as a club footballer. The man has not his best career, his best days as a club footballer was at Barcelona. There was a lot of experienced players there that has won Champions League before, that knows what it takes to win and win that elusive trophy. And they were there to guide Neymar. When
I
he was
understand
the
that.
emerging
But you can't make
talent,
it seem as
where
if
was when this emerging talent came out, everybody spoke about him. That's not the first person that is an emerging talent coming out of South America. Look how much persons coming out of South America was an emerging talent. Look how much of them. And the guidance that these persons needed was not there, and that's the reason why they underachieved. And Neymar is one of them. That year that Neymar had that illustrious season with PSG, they had PSG as the odds-on favorite heading into that season to win it all. They had them as one of the top favorites to win it
yeah, but
all.
they weren't the favorite. Bayern was always the favorite, right through.
I'm going to let the man know
No,
what's
they were not. The SPI, sir, before you come in, Shakes, the SPI said that Bayern was not the favorite. PSG was the top favorite heading into that season. The Soccer Power Index said so. So
No.
I don't know what you're talking
No,
about.
no. Everywhere I go online to buy, I always see Bayern selling as favorite right through.
I agree with Devin on that one.
I
No,
always
the SPI heading into the season,
I'm not
the
gonna
SPI
refute.
said
I'm not going to refute your soccer whatever index. I'm not going to refute that, but I'm telling you what I see. All these betting thing I see
Yeah,
online. We're selling
going through
Bayern
that
as a
season,
favorite.
you would have bet against Bayern Munich heading into that final.
Again?
Everybody know that based on how they were playing, you would have bet against them, against the opponents that they were playing.
No, you say
that would
right
have been
throat.
foolish.
No, you're saying right throat, and I'm talking from the initial outset from the
Devin,
beginning.
you weren't hearing me. You were not listening to me. I said heading into that season, they were the
Yeah.
favorites based on
And,
SPI.
and,
That's
and
what
as
I
Casey
said.
is pointing out right here before I get in Shakes, Bayern became favorite when Flick took over. Because remember that they started off the season awful with
Thank
Kovac.
you, because Niko Kovac, who was the coach of
They were
Eintracht
awful.
Frankfurt, was the coach before Hansi Flick took over mid-season. May I tell the man, and the man I tell me say how foolish is my chat.
Yeah.
I mean, I that foolish shit up, but I'm telling you what I see everywhere I look online to see. Bayern was always selling as a favorite to win the league, even right before, right throughout. So
All right.
Of course, winning the league, they were always the favorites to win the league, Devin. But we're talking about Champions League. The first half of the Champions League, they had Kovac as the coach, who was the former coach of Eintracht
And they weren't,
Frankfurt.
and they weren't that favorite that time.
You know why they were not the favorites at that time? Niko Kovac was not even top 5 when Hansi Flick took over in the Bundesliga. That is why they were not the favorites.
So you're telling me
Kovac
when they had that coach,
Kovac,
and nobody
Devin,
buying selling as favorite to win the Champions League.
Mr. Cohen,
No,
Kovac got fired because Bayern was just scraping top 10 in the Bundesliga at the time.
I was seeing that.
They could never be the favorites if they were not top 5. They were not even top 5 in the Bundesliga. So how could they be favorites? That's why Hansi Flick took over and took the team, and not only took them but dominated the Champions League. The man did not lose
that was when they
a
started to
single
brand
game.
them as favorite. That's true.
That is
but
what
initially
them
you
was
said
favorites.
all right, fine. But initially you said heading into the season, you said heading into the season, they weren't telling us favorite. PSG was going as favorite.
They weren't.
But in the season, they wouldn't have played no games as yet. Bayern was selling us favorite in the beginning of the season. Bayern was selling us favorite at the beginning of the season. That's what I saw.
So the man was being missing from the show for the longest while that a lot of people actually miss, even though everybody know the reason why. And again,
tell him that.
Rest in paradise, young king. Big up yourself, man. But Shakes is here again, and I know that a lot of you guys are happy to see the
Good
man.
night, guys. Good
But
night.
I
Good
know that
night.
shakes his ear to beat roly poly poly. Go ahead.
Who's rolling for? Oh,
Oh well, first and foremost, yeah, Chris was right. In terms of Bayern, their season was actually horrible under Niko Kovac. At that point, Devin,
Mm.
which is why they let him go, and they just tried a thing with Hansi Flick, because guess what, the way it was going, there was no worse that could happen. Yeah. So they were never favorites for the Champions League at the start of the season. At one point, nobody even thought Bayern would win the German league. At
Yep.
about November, around about November, going December. Yeah. But anyway, it's really the Neymar debate. I've been listening to Chris and Devin go at it. Listen, I kind of agree with what Chris is saying. Because yes, you would have had more senior players at Barcelona to give Neymar the guidance, especially based on the age at which he came to Barcelona, right? So starting with, I wouldn't even say Busquets, because for me, Busquets is not a leader. If I'm going to call somebody's name, I would say Gerard Piqué, right? Even after Puyol left Barcelona, I would say that role after Eric Abidal, Carlos Puyol, Gerard Piqué, right? He would be the person. If I'm going to mention somebody else, it would be Xavi and Iniesta. Those were the senior players. Yes, Busquets would have been in the Barcelona team, but for me, Busquets is not really a talker. I don't really see him talking on the field like that. Anybody that watch Barcelona, I don't really see him talking on the field like those like the other players, right? But we can't know what actually happens in a dressing room. So we're just working based on what we see on the field of play, right? But if you compare Barcelona to PSG, PSG is just, let's say Paris. Paris is just a party place, right? And if you realize, even when Ronaldinho used to be there, um, that's where he got his partying from. The whole party vibes from when he was in over in PSG. That is why when he came to Barcelona, yes, he was able to focus for basically 3 years. That was it, just 3 years, and then it all went downhill. Now Neymar, for a person who we had as a top talent, right? Junior. For me, Neymar has been a big disaster, right? Listen, I'm a Brazilian fan. I'm a Brazilian diehard fan, right? And every single time I see Neymar on a football field, he literally hurts my head. Because guess what? If you want somebody to slow down a football game, just tell him to come and play football. He literally slowed the game down. There's no point in having a player on the field that's going to try to beat 5 men from the half line, and then he is going to drop on the ground at every chance he gets. I'm going to give you guys one simple example. The Copa America, the one that they lost to Argentina.
Mhm.
Neymar, when we talk about sense of urgency,
After they conceded.
when Argentina scored that goal and Brazil, they were hunting that goal. I see Neymar, when persons came to tackle him, he literally stood up. He wasn't on the ground behaving like roly poly oly, right? So you see, Neymar has this mentality that, guess what? People just like fancy football and not necessarily the end result. As a Brazilian wants to win every single game, wants to win every single competition that they are in. Yeah, Neymar have the goals and everything for Brazil, but if you realize there ain't no trophy, no significant trophy. You don't realize that?
Yep.
He has no significant trophy with Brazil, for all his immense talent and number of goals that he has had in his career. Listen, the only reason we are talking about Neymar as a quote unquote success is because of what he achieved at Barcelona. But outside of that, what has he really done? I believe that everybody expected him to really challenge. I had him to win the Ballon d'Or in 2018 because I believe that he was going to bring Brazil to that World Cup victory. Because for me, it was the right age. Yeah, 3 years ago was the right age for Neymar at 26, 27 in his prime. Messi and Ronaldo would have been in their 30s, right? So for me, Neymar was at the age where I can say, all right, yeah, he's supposed to be the top player in the world. But really and truly, really and really and truly, even though Neymar has finished third in the Ballon d'Or, has he ever really been close to those top two players? I don't believe so. So for me, he has been a disappointment. I can give you people that have had more successful careers. Arjen Robben, Frank Ribery, Karim Benzema. Those are three players that just Chris was naming some, right? Luka Modric, I really wouldn't go as far as saying Luka Modric. That one I don't agree with.
Shakes. What I said to Devin is that I can remove Cristiano and remove Messi from the conversation, and Neymar still wouldn't be the best player in the world. That
No,
is
he
what I'm
still
telling
won't.
you.
No.
Currently, no. Currently,
But
no.
guess what?
But that's not the
Levon,
argument. That's not the argument.
even 2 years now, Neymar has never ever been the best player at his club other than Santos. That's reality, you know.
Fact.
Not even at Barca when he came
Because
from Santos
because
to
guess what?
Barca.
He was never the number one player at Barcelona. We all know that. But guess what? Which sensible coach would pick Neymar over Kylian Mbappe?
Nobody.
Would you, Devin? Would you pick Neymar over Kylian Mbappe?
Yes.
All right. So you don't want to win football games. You just want a man to
Remember,
be
Shakes, can you
Paladin style.
remind Shakes, can you
I
remind
saw
him that
Neymar turn
Kylian
back on.
Mbappe,
I saw Neymar turn back on in Vince like an almost impossible tie for Barcelona. And Barcelona was down. One of the
And
best.
what did they do in the next round? And what did they do in the next round? They got knocked out.
Shakes,
One of the best Champions League perform individual.
Yeah, and they got knocked out the next round
I've never
because they
seen
weren't
Mbappe
really
like
good.
that.
Shakes, can you remind him how important Mbappe was in that World Cup winning squad in 2018?
Listen,
As a young
Mbappe
kid.
And the reason,
The argument
the
has
is
reason,
been the
club
best
level,
player
the
at
argument is at club level.
PSG.
no,
The
well,
argument is at club level. We
you
never
know,
look at it
no,
from an
but
international perspective.
no,
Club
that
level they were talking about.
that is showing you how Mbappe at a world stage can take the bull by the hand and win it. Because
Listen.
remember, Shakes was talking about 2018 and the
Yeah.
right to win the World Cup.
Yeah, listen, Neymar was kicked out of the 2014 World Cup in terms of injury, right?
Mhm.
But tell me, Devin, what was his excuse for 2018?
The other teams are way superior talent than his team. It's not
Belgium?
a one-man thing.
Belgium?
It's not a one-man thing.
Belgium
Come
that
on,
on a
Devin.
whim was losing 2-0 to Japan.
Belgium?
And Belgium had a
Really?
looking video from Toby
That
Alderweireld.
Belgium game they should have
on.
won. Yes, they should have won that Belgium game. But like
Of course,
Devin,
the overall winner of the competition, who won in 2018?
Stick up in,
France.
Shakes.
France had a
Let me
way
just
superior
repeat
team
something
than
that Shakes said earlier.
Brazil.
All right, so Devin, earlier, Shake said that in Copa, right, when Neymar saw that Brazil were behind Argentina, you saw the sense of urgency, no roly-poly. Even when I kick him, Neymar stood on his feet.
Right
Why
in
is
the
it that
tackle.
in that 2018 World Cup, we never see that Neymar? You know,
That's why the criticism. I'm not. Yeah, that part I can't refute that at all. Because when Shakes made that point, I couldn't refute that at all. I could not refute that at all.
Well done. Well, at least you accepted it.
Yeah.
But Devin, that's the issue that we have with him is that this guy
Yeah.
can play football. This guy
He
can
can.
stay on his feet, but he chose not to. And that's why we
It's
beat him
just
and
the
said he's gonna
mentality.
achieve.
The mentality. Yeah, the
But as I said-
mentality.
As I said, Shakes, PSG is just an ends. We just go about it, just go all a vibe.
Yeah, Sherwin just said it, eh? It's just an ends.
Yeah. But here again, here's Real Bailey saying that. But Neymar always want to put on a show and not necessarily by playing decent football. Man, clone out him career. But Shakes, so the argument that we had on is if Brazil, this current Brazilian team, can win the upcoming World Cup.
Nope. Number one, as I said, I'm a Brazilian. I'm a Brazilian, and guess what? The coach that they have is no better than my club coach. All he does is put out players on a field, and that's it. It's called hoping for the best.
At least him talk more than Ole Shakes.
Well, I mean, all right, but guess what? All he does is really hope for the best. Listen, when Brazil has really needed a result, have you ever seen Tite come up with the goods? No.
The real test, you know, so the only test I've seen them gotten since this World Cup qualification was the game against Colombia, and you saw what happened. It ended 0-0.
Yep. Listen, I've always said it. I've always said it in recent time that once Brazil plays a decent European team, they cannot beat them. Cannot. Listen, if Fred can start in that Brazilian team, something have to be wrong. It's as simple as that.
I agree with that.
It's as simple as that. And listen, this is not even dislike for the man because he plays for Manchester United. But guess what? It's Brazil we're talking about, right? And if you are telling me that this man doesn't even have a decent club career, how do you start for the Brazilian national team? That one I just can't. Nobody can explain that one.
That's crazy. But now we're going to look at another team because we already previewed Argentina. A lot of people think that Argentina stand a better chance of actually winning this World Cup than Brazil. Now we're going to look at the Portuguese team because this will arguably be the last World Cup for Cristiano because that is a topic on hand. You know, we're saying that this more than likely will be Neymar, Messi, and Cristiano last World Cup. So can they get that World Cup title under their belt? Now we look at this Portuguese team. A lot of people are saying that Portugal doesn't have the quality that Argentina have, but I disagree. For me personally, I think Portugal, if you look at their squad, is better than Brazil, right? And even if you look at them, you'll probably say they're arguably better than Argentina because the only real issue for Portugal, you know, is finding a centre-back pair in terms of a centre-back partner for Ruben Dias because Pepe is not going to cut it at this level anymore. So that is their main issue. The coach now, he's another hurted. That man is just like Ole. Just set the players them out there and say, just wall of vibes. That is exactly what that man coach. And at no point in time you saw that Portuguese team probably need a result and that man can get up and actually influence them. Because as Kims was on earlier and was talking about the title that they won, it was basically Cristiano that was coaching the side, not that man. So when we look at the team overall now, they have good attacking players, but the midfield is where it's kind of up and down at times because I've seen where they're trying to work with João Palhinha and he looks like a decent player to me. Bruno hasn't it his best form for Portugal. People are saying it's because it's the midfield three, but I don't care. Bruno, I rate you, but you need to pull your weight. No, players like Ruben Neves and those guys, they're saying that you get pushed through Joao Martina, but forward line is where the strength is. That is where the strength is. Cristiano, Bernardo Silva, Andre Silva, and the other guys to fill in.
Joao Felix.
Last man, don't call Joao Felix then. Joao Felix is a bug. And I guarantee you, I kid you not, that had that man been an English player, then I stop beating. But let's move on. Let's not go there. Now we look at the team. Last dice for Cristiano, 37 years old for the next World Cup. Do you think he has it with him to win this World Cup? And I'm going to start with Devin this time.
Still one of my favorite players, you know, but it's not there for them. I don't think this World Cup have too many great teams out there that's going to be better than Portugal. Germany is better than Portugal. France is better than Portugal.
Last man, talk on that about my side. Germany not good right now. Everybody say it, we not good.
No. Let's still have I don't. This Portugal team, like you said, when I see Pepe being almost 40 around here in the back still, they have to get somebody else who can partner with that guy. The guy from Man City name again. No man. Diaz, right? And in the midfield, for Bruno he has to pull his weight more. And overall, Cristiano too, like he needs like some. Well, he have good upfront players, but he needs better support. That's what I want to say. He needs better support coming from the midfield to support him because he's not the type of player to drop back and win the ball and come up back. That's not his type of game. He needs people to be giving in the ball, passing the ball. He need a good supported midfield. They can work on that, but the most they can probably reach is the quarterfinal. I don't see them going to the final, much less even winning the tournament.
Okay. Chris, what say you?
All right. So, boy, first off, I want to start with one of my favorite players currently at Manchester United. I know sometimes I don't want to be very critical of him, but as I said, Levon, he needs to pull his weight. Bruno Fernandes has to be more creative for this Portuguese team if they even have a chance. Because for Cristiano Ronaldo, even at his peak age, well, I mean, with Cristiano and his body of work, can we really say there's a set peak age for Christy, to be honest? But when he was in his mid 20s, even at that point, he wasn't the type of player to run, come back, get the ball, run forward. He's not that type of player. Even when he was a mainstay winger, whether left or right, he was not that type of player to come back and collect the ball. So he needs his midfield to work for him. The João Matip, Ruben Neves, Bruno Fernandes, if they're going for a mid-three, because I realize that the coach is going for that three-man midfield of Moutinho, Neves, and Bruno Fernandes. So Bruno now knows that he has to be that creative player in that midfield three to go and produce for a man like Bernardo Silva, Andre Silva, or Cristiano Ronaldo. A lot of times, that front three, even though they're the best part of that Portuguese squad, they have to do more than they should, and that's the problem. Why I think that they will go to the knockout stage. They even will pass the round of 16, but to go past the quarterfinals, it's gonna be difficult. So I think that that's the problem. I mean, Christie has to take this team on his back because this is his last World Cup. He'll be 37 this World Cup in Qatar 2022. He's not going to play at the next World Cup at 41 years old. So this is going to be his last World Cup. So he would have to put this team on its back. But I think that if they click and they find a suitable centre back pairing for Ruben Diaz, that's the key thing. If they find a good centre back with Ruben Diaz, then they might have a chance. But currently, Pepe, oh my word, Pepe, no. I mean, too much work for Ruben Diaz to do. So I don't think Portugal will win it in Qatar.
All right, one correction though. It's not actually Ruben Neves that has been starting.
Ruben Diaz.
Yeah, João Palhinha is the midfielder that has been starting.
Yeah,
No,
João Palhinha.
Shakes, I know that you're a big Cristiano fan because where Cristiano go, Shakes that So do you think that one of the greatest player in history, greatest player for our lifetime, can actually propel this team and get them to World Cup glory?
All right, so for me, a big hindrance is the coach. Let's start there, right?
Definitely.
Most times when you look at a coach, you can actually know whether or not he has actual tactics and if he can make in-game adjustments. Because that's what a coach is for, to make in-game adjustments. Because it doesn't matter how much we plan and draw up plays before a game. Listen, somebody can score in the first minute of the game and you can be down 1-0, right? Do you have the capabilities and the wherewithal to say to your team, make adjustments, same time, to say like, my God, this team is out of the blocks. Okay, the game plan that we had for them for the first 15 minutes, can we make changes? Now, right throughout a game, when I look at Fernando Santos, he always looks clueless. I don't know if you guys see that, but I always just see him looking Sometimes his hand is on the bench, and that's it. I've never ever seen him. Yes, he might look concerned, but I don't really see him relaying any information to anybody. If somebody can state otherwise, then I guess I'm not seeing clearly, right? But I don't really see him talking to players even during a game, right? So his thing is basically before the match, and yeah, you guys go out on the field and try to perform. That's it for me. Now, you guys were asking in terms of the center back pairing. It's kind of hard. The World Cup is literally a year and a month from now. It's very hard to find a center back in that time to really come stake a claim and cement his spot. So
And
I
I
believe that
disagree.
this. Huh?
You know that I disagree though.
You disagree?
Yeah. I believe they have centre back. However, they're not giving them the opportunity.
Oh,
Because
oh, well, I was going to say that I believe with and I was going to add with the coach, his thing is, oh, Pepe and Cristiano actually have a very good relationship, right? An excellent friendship. I believe that that is what is keeping Pepe in that team. I'm going to be honest, right? I believe that that's what keeping him in the team. And Fernando Santos, he really does not want to go against what Christie says and what Pepe says, right? Because guess what? If you get the two most senior players being disgruntled, listen, it's all over, It don't even make sense Portugal try go World Cup if those two players aren't happy, right? So I believe he does not want to cause any battles or division in the team. Now, as it pertains to the midfield, I would like to see more from the Portuguese midfield. Listen, you have quality players, but for me, they don't give enough. They
true.
honestly don't give enough. It's like they rely on the forward line and say, "Oh, hey guys, we know you're very good. Yeah, Cristiano, we know you're up there." So even the type of plays that they will make for their clubs, I don't see that in the Portuguese setup. That also can be because of coaching or the lack thereof, right? And trying to fit the best players and not necessarily the best 11, but trying to fit persons in to give you the best result, the best output. Because football is all about output. The better output you have, the better chance you have of winning a football game, right? And for me, sometimes when you look on the Portuguese bench, sometimes you're wondering if the better player is literally sitting on the bench who could actually help the team even more, right? So I believe that that might be their Achilles heel. I still believe Devin even said it. For me, the German team can go further than the Portuguese team. Yes, Levan, I know you don't want us to hype up your team because you might be going through, but I know you know deep down that the German team has a better chance.
All right,
Um,
Shakes, on
of,
related today. A lot of people, especially the Facebook coaches, are saying that Jeremiah will drop out first round. So I just want him to
Oh,
continue with
oh,
that same
oh, yeah.
narrative.
You just
So
listen. You see, some World Cup teams are World Cup teams for a reason. So it don't
Mhm.
matter how poor your form is going into the World Cup. Listen, you get the right camaraderie. You get the right setup, and because you
balance,
just
that is
have
key.
World Cup pedigree, you will advance, right? So for me, Germany, France, even Belgium, even though I don't rate their coach because I just think that that coach is a madman from ever since, right? But Belgium, so that's Belgium, France, Germany. I would go as far as saying I believe that the Argentine team, yes, can go further. Um,
You wouldn't
I'm
give
not.
Italy a
I'm
look
never
into
ever.
World
But
I'm
Cup.
never ever sold
Italian.
on England.
You wouldn't
I've
Italian.
give
never ever sold on England, and then you have Italy and
Okay.
Spain. You have Italy
I
and
was just
Spain.
about to ask about Italy
Yeah, man.
because
So those are 6 teams. Those are 6 teams. I was just searching the continent.
All
Yeah.
right.
So
So
those are 6 teams.
Shakes, here's a Brazilian that actually realized something that a lot of people are casting a blind eye on. Pepe Paul saying that look at the German team. It's a good look of youth and experience.
But it
That's
is.
facts. That's facts. But we're not here to discuss Germany. I'm just going to reserve that for some other discussion.
I know that big smile upon your face because you're a team with a Levant.
What you mean, boss man? Them must have someone like Musiala, Wirtz, and Adeyemi and those guys coming through.
And
Those are
Lebon,
finalists.
even with Hansi Flick in the position now, I believe that he is not going to go for the tried and proven because it didn't work under Yogi Low. So he has to try to blend, get the right mix. So he has to go for youth and experience to try to get the best output.
And I
Yep.
think that is one of the reasons why he had so much success at Bayern Munich
Yeah.
because he was necessarily going for, oh, this person is good at this position. I'm going to plug him here. He decided, all right, I'm going to find the players that fit the system that I want. And he was dominant in Europe when he was in the Champions League. Remember, when he got that Bayern Munich team, he was undefeated in the Champions League, winning the league and getting 6 trophies within a calendar year. So yeah, you're right.
Chris, don't go deep. Remember, not here to
Levon,
talk about Germany.
Levon, I know we're not talking about Germany, right? But the top 4 teams to win the World Cup next year would be
Mhm.
France, Spain, Italy, Germany.
Okay. Now, I'm going to ask you guys this question, and I just want you to think. So I'm going to start with Devin.
Mm.
First, we start off with Argentina. If not Messi, who on that team you could see being a difference maker?
Oh gosh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. You ask somebody and come back to me. Let me think about it. That's a tough one. Let's try to think. Because
Easy.
Chris,
Di
I
Maria,
can answer that.
I'm going to get to you, Shakes. You're still thinking, Chris?
Di Maria,
All right,
who
Shakes, go ahead.
I think
Yeah,
about
man, I can answer that. It's been a very long time since Argentina has had a very, very, very decent keeper. Thank you, Adrian. Martinez, the goalkeeper.
Hold on.
It's
Clarify.
not
Adrian.
Lartura he's talking. It can't be Lartura he's talking. No.
That's why I asked the question because remember that there's 2
Martinez, the
Martinez.
goalkeeper.
No, man,
Listen,
he couldn't so mad, man. Emiliano has been fantastic for real, man.
exactly. Martinez has been average for Argentina, right?
Hey.
Martinez in goal. Remember, Sergio Romero.
Clarify it.
Sergio Romero at Manchester United, even while not playing games, used to be the number 1 keeper for Argentina. Yep.
This is a good choice as well because he has given them something that they haven't had either. That's Rodrigo de Paul.
Yeah, Rodrigo de Paul. I wouldn't argue with Rodrigo de Paul because I think that especially in that run in the Copa America, he was a good player for Argentina. But I agree with Shakes. I mean, Emiliano Martinez, not just when he was playing, when he became that number 1 goalkeeper for Argentina, it was the fact that he left Arsenal after a decade at the Emirates and said that it was a step up for his career, which in part is true.
Mentality.
It is true. It is true.
Mentality.
This man told Yeremina that he was going to kick a special direction and still save the penalty. In a long while, where have you had that confidence of a goalkeeper in between the sticks for
Yeah.
Argentina?
I like,
Yes,
But
I
he
like
did,
him. I like
he
him.
did
And
the same thing against Manchester United.
Oh,
if
gosh.
we are being frank right now, it's hard to argue that the man is world class right now.
Yep.
He's a very good goalkeeper, I'm telling you.
Yes, Rush Cadillac, who is an Argentine fan, saying that seems some no want them hype up Argentina. But Devin, you ready to give your answer?
well, based on the young players, I remember seeing what the guy name. I like. Well, I can't remember him.
Which club?
Oh man, Martinez. That Martinez guy. I like him. I thought he may not be that big players, but I seen him. Look, Lutaro, something like that, Martinez.
Martinez, yeah.
Yeah. I seen him in a couple of games with them. May not be the fastest player, but I think he could be effective and he could be a defense maker. I think he could be effective and he could be a difference maker. I mean, and the goalkeeper, yes, just to pick someone that's different from the goalkeeper, because I've seen the goalkeeper being brilliant, but I'll go with that guy.
Okay. All right. Now we look at Brazil. If not Neymar, then who?
Vinny.
Chris.
No my about that.
Okay. Vinny.
Who, Chris?
All right. Vinicius Junior. Wow. That kind of threw me in a loop. Go. Vinicius Junior.
Man said never want critical of him favorite player Bruno, because so my favorite player that's some of me.
Yeah, man. Vinny has a good chance of actually being somebody that's impactful
Chris,
for Brazil.
who for you? You, Chris. Who?
If I want to go out on a limb here, and I know you guys not going to be conducive with my answer, but based so far on what he has been doing, Gabriel Barbosa seems quite appealing in this run of World Cup qualifiers. And I don't know, Sheikh is holding his face, but he seems somewhat impactful somewhat, but I think that I would go with Vinicius Junior to have an impactful player as well, that can turn the game on its head. I've watched him at Real Madrid, and I know that once he's ready to take on the game, he can do so.
But you're sharing Bannick saying that Freddy Krueger got shot the world. Just watch.
Yeah, man, this must be Jason versus Freddy.
Yeah, but you can't. Yeah, so go for those two players, but more probably to Vinny because of his youth and what he can do with that football. He can take on a lot of defenders, and the thing is, Vinny is not roly-poly like Neymar. That's the very important thing. He's not roly-poly like Neymar. So he's not the type of person that will, if somebody fall him, go roll 10, 3 yards or 20 feet away from the ball or the play. He's the type of person that can really take on defenders, but really he's more balanced on his feet. So I'd go for Vinny, but I know that Shakes don't like the fact that I said Gabriel Barbosa because I see that he was hanging his head and he was surprised. But I'll go for Vinny this time around.
All right, Shakes, what do you say?
You know why I hung my head and put my face my hand above my face? Because guess what? The Brazilian cohort is so poor. It's so poor that we are literally struggling to find a name. Just stop and think about that. We can't even find a decent Brazilian to say, okay, if not Neymar, who then?
Is that defender me I go for still,
Right? Because thank you, boss. Because it's only one name. If I don't call Ederson or Alisson, it has to be Marquinhos, right? Because guess what? I just have to hope that Marquinhos pops up with some brilliant goals in terms of from some corners, because you know that's his game, right? The second phase of play from a corner, Marquinhos. So if I'm going to call anybody's name, it has to be him. Because guess what, Chris? We don't even know if Vinicius will be even selected in the squad.
And that's kind of surprising to me now, which is why when you say Tite don't have one bit of sense in coaching this team, I agree 1,000,000%. I mean, and the thing, I understand why you pick Marquinhos, because he's a versatile player, can play around the back, but he also can play in the middle of the park. A lot of people don't remember that for a good while he was playing CDM and was a lot of times advanced. But Vinicius Junior is the type of person that you need if you want to take on players in an attack. You need somebody that can take on players, but not only that, Shakes, but somebody that can be balanced on his feet and take on players. You know what? I'm not even going to see. I'm not even going to.
They can use him off the bench too.
Listen, if they call him back Oscar, makes sense. You just call back Hulk.
He has been scoring for Atletico Mineiro, so I mean, why
Yep.
not?
Yeah, he has,
Listen,
he has
let's
been
go on.
having a good partnership with
As I said, the cohort for Brazil, because guess what?
It's a good
Anybody
point.
could say Richarlison. Yes, somebody even said Paqueta, because even for the last 2 games, he's decent, but guess what? He's young, right? So in terms of game changers, you basically just have to play hopscotch. So Richarlison, Vinicius, Paqueta. Okay, a man call out Fred. All right, Fred, really? Gabriel Barbosa.
Casemiro.
Listen, these names are not household names, you know, right? And they've really not set the world alight. You just have to hope that they have a very good season for the rest of the season, and then they can try to bring over that form after getting a decent summer break. Because we know that they're not playing any tournaments come summer. Get a decent break. They can start injury-free for next season, and then hopefully they can peak, because that's the important thing. Trying to peak for November versus in the summer, right? So that is probably the only thing that can work for Brazil.
Shakes, the guy from Gremio, that guy that played so well in Copa America in 2019. Everton.
Is that Benfica?
Oh, Chris, them man, they don't set the world alight. That's the whole point.
Give
It
me
is really
Shakes. Give me Rafinha from Leeds over Everton and those guys all day long.
it's literally hopscotch. As I said, you know, Chris, we might call names now,
Yeah,
but
youngsters.
will they be in that squad to the World Cup? We honestly don't know that.
Because
We can
Shakes, I
say
said,
the Portuguese team. We can say we can pick probably 20 players from the Portuguese team and 20 from the Argentine team, but we're honestly not sure about the Brazilian team.
Because
Wait,
here's another name that I was going to mention. He's a wild card, but this guy could be a difference maker. But will he be selected? I
no,
highly doubt it.
I
He's
don't.
good.
I don't think
He's
so.
currently at Ajax, and I mean he has done well. So
Yeah. And if you realize the thing with Tite, you know, Tite goes for players that he is accustomed to.
and I can tell you this much: don't be surprised to see Andreas Pereira in the Brazilian team.
Oh Lord.
He has been doing well for Flamengo. Don't be surprised. But let's move on.
We
Jesus.
say new defensive midfielder.
Straight away. I'll take him over Fred
We say take him over Fred.
right now. But we look at the Portuguese team, and I'm going to start this. I'm going to go with a wild card. He's currently out injured, and I hope that he comes back and in top form. But the difference maker for me could probably be Pedro Neto. I like this guy. I don't know for what reason, but he dribbles and he can create chances. And for me, he'll be a difference maker.
I think he would be a good sub.
That's why I said difference maker.
Good sub.
Shake, so what do you have?
For Portugal, it's easy. Bruno Fernandes, because he has literally done nothing for that Portuguese team. So guess what? You see, if he started to do something, Levon, he would be the difference maker. It's as simple as that.
True.
Because really and truly, Bruno Fernandes doesn't start for Portugal, you know.
Really?
Yeah. So if he starts in that 11, it must mean that he has changed his gameplay for Portugal and has been or is at the time more effective, greater output. Because I believe everybody would want to see greater output from him in that Portuguese team.
Yep. Devin, what do you think?
For Portugal, I'm definitely going Bruno because I like him. You know, I like the way he plays some money, and I think he can replicate that form with Portugal. Because the only thing going against him, he doesn't have a good coach at money and do have a good coach with Portugal. But I think he can get it right for Portugal.
Christy will coach him right, man.
Yeah, I like I like him.
Okay. Chris, I know that you agree as well.
I actually have another option as well. Of course,
Silva.
Bruno, on his form can basically put passes on a silver platter, for players like Bernardo Silva and Cristiano Ronaldo. But one person as well, if he plays to the potential that I know, and I'm sure you guys know he can play, he will be a difference maker, and that's Andre Silva. He Once he plays to his potential, he can be a very impactful
One
player
start.
as well. But we just spoke about Pedro Neto coming
True,
off the
true,
bench, so you really can't
true.
count out Andre Silva as well. I really was watching his time at Eintracht Frankfurt, and even though he has had somewhat of a quiet type of season, he's still up there scoring goals. He's up there in the goal scoring race with the likes of Erling Haaland and Robert Lewandowski in terms of numbers. So I would say that if you want, of course, Bruno is one person that you need, but another person that I would look at to make an impact apart from Cristiano Ronaldo is Andre Silva as well.
Okay. Now, you have other teams that are playing well, and I keep on telling people. So, you see this Danish team, don't sleep on them. They have a lot of young talents coming through, and people aren't paying attention to them. But I keep on saying, don't sleep on that Danish team. And my biggest issue with France is that France hasn't brought in players that can make a difference. Yes, they brought in Arlene Tuchemeni, but I mean, how can you have Christopher Nkunku, who has been arguably the Bundesliga player of the season, and leaving out that man? You have
Score a hat trick at
Eduardo,
Manchester City too.
hold on, man. You have Eduardo Camavinga, and yet still you're going with Adrian Rabiot. Simply means you have no sense. But
Coaching.
I'm not going to touch on those teams. We're going to leave them for some other discussion. Now, with all of that being said, Devin, now it's time for your minute. Talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Oh, I want to move away from the football. I want to talk about basketball and not so much of a playing or any particular team. I want to talk about this guy, Kyrie Irving. I think
Diva.
The Brooklyn Nets today make a right decision because initially, because of his non-vaccination status, he wouldn't be playing the home game. So they decided that he's not playing. He's not eligible to play any game at all, whether home or away, until the vaccination status is right. And I think that's the best thing because for the chemistry and for the distraction, you know what I mean? When they go away, the media will be just focused on him. Kyrie, because he's a distraction. So the mere fact that he's not in the team from initially, everybody know that okay, he won't be playing and the team can be set. Whether away or home, and some young guy. They drafted this guy named Thomas. Thomas. I saw him. He looks like a solid player. He can create his own shot. So I like that decision that they made. So he'll be getting like $20 million without playing a game. But I love that decision that he's not playing at all. Not to just give him for away games and not playing at home. That would make sense for the chemistry of the team. That would make sense. Also, I love that decision by the Brooklyn.
Okay. Pepe Paul, to answer your question about the Lakers against Warriors game, it's in the first quarter. Warriors leading by 6 points to 3. And before I move on to Chris and Shakes, guys, there are currently 19 of you on the stream. Please like the video. And anyone that's on the stream that hasn't subscribed to the channel as yet, please do so. We're trying to reach a particular mark by the end of this month. I want to be at least, today's the 12th. By the end of this month, we should at least reach 700 subscribers. So just continue to subscribe to the channel, share the channel to others so they can subscribe as well. Now, Chris, go ahead. Your minute.
All right. So, first of all, that whole Kyrie situation. I've heard a lot of people talking about they needed to trade Kyrie as well. We fail to understand that also Ben Simmons has been a disruption in the league where he was willing to lose a lot of money to kind of be a catalyst for change. Now, listen, you're not LeBron James at all. You don't have that kind of quote unquote bread to be a catalyst for a trade. You can't force yourself out of a trade because who is going to take you and you don't have a jump shot? Nobody's going to do that. It's a 3-point territory in the NBA, or at least you should have a jump shot. DeMar DeRozan has done it. Lonzo Ball has been forced to do it. You have to do it. You've been there for years. So that's one. Two, I'd want to see more I'm going over to the NFL now. I want to see more of Lamar Jackson's passing game. This is the first time in his career he's had over 400 passing yards as a quarterback. You can't run the football all the time because, of course, you've not been to the Super Bowl just running the football. So you have to pass more. And for the Kyrie situation, if I was the GM, I'd be looking for a trade. Kyrie is too much of a disruption for the team. And as you can see, they can win with a fit Kevin Durant and a fit James Harden.
All right, Chris, you mentioned about NFL. Just ensure so you tune in on Saturdays to hear the expertise from Kims, Devin, and crew because they have an NFL show on Saturday. So ensure
Yeah,
that you
man,
tune
I'm
in at
always
7
here,
p.m.
man. I'm always
All
here.
right, the man himself, Shakes. You're a minute boss.
All right. Just a little on the Kyrie thing. Rumor has it that he's gonna retire.
Diva.
You should.
Yeah, that's it. That's a rumor. Out and about right now on Twitter, right? But anyway, I'm not here to talk about basketball. Keeping it at football. The Jamaica national team, because guess what? It has been a disappointment, right? Let's start there. It has been a really disappointing campaign thus far. It's not over until it's over. I know a lot of persons are despondent, even myself. I don't even know why I'm talking like this. Like Jamaica has hope, but guess what? Until we play the last game, we literally have hope. So, for me, though the campaign has been a major disappointment, I would love to see Jamaica go out and give Honduras a nice 3-1. I know many persons aren't really looking forward to that. Seeing Jamaica give Honduras 3-1. But guess what? When you're cellar dwellers, right? Guess what? It can't get any worse. It literally can't get any worse.
So
I
Shakes.
remember. I'm just gonna point to one team. I remember when Arsenal they were the laughing stock earlier in the season. They are now ahead of Tottenham, all on goal difference. But guess what? They are ahead of them, right? So if Arsenal could do it, Jamaica
But
can beat
Shakes in
Honduras.
Jamaica situation, right? You know that if Tapa wins this game, there's a 95% chance that he'll still be in charge. So
95, 99.
And guess
there you have
what?
it.
And guess what? Let me state this, right? I've never been somebody to hope that a team loses a match for the coach to get fired, right? Now, it is the World Cup campaign. We are so terrible. We are literally at the cellar, right? So
Honduras as well, they're in a must-win game too,
afford
so
to
don't forget
lose.
that.
We can't afford to lose the game, right? So even though I might want Tapa out, and maybe there's somebody better out there, right? If Arteta could do it with Arsenal, Tapa probably can do it with Jamaica.
But
And
Shake, stick up in. I want you all to stop neglect the fact that Honduras is in a must-win game situation and they're
I
at
know,
home.
and guess what? That plays to our advantage, Levon. You know why? Because the Honduran FA, or Football Federation, I should say, would go out and tell that team that, guess what? Y'all better beat Jamaica or else. So guess what? It is the right framework. It is the right game for us to actually go out and literally counter that team and try to. That's why I'm saying I believe Honduras will score. That's why I gave them a goal. But I believe we can score 3 goals at that. They're also missing a key defender,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, got a
Yeah.
red card.
Even though he's a grandpa.
Even though he's a grandpa. But
He can no
listen,
wrong.
nobody is really setting the Jamaican team alight. So even with if the grandpa was there, and I'm glad he's not there, hopefully we can really get a 3-1 victory. I believe that might just be the catalyst, right? And with some other teams drawing, that are very close in terms of the points, because we would move to 5 points once we win that game. If we can have people within our side say 7 points, 8 points, we're still in with a chance. We're still in with a
At least
chance.
even get the fourth spot.
To even
they
at
need to
least
shake.
get that.
Shakes, they need to win the game tomorrow because they need to let that Oral Tracy song still be relevant. Because otherwise, that song will be irrelevant totally.
Yep.
So they have to do it for him. But all we have to say is that I hope that they can get a victory. I don't want to tap out the L, man. I was on a podcast earlier on Management Show, I am sure sports, and was listening to Alfredo Manteso, and that man seems like he's a Jamaican by heart. That man want to come into the Jamaican setup, even though he's currently with a club. But this man, when I hear these people talk, you can see that they have the best interest, and it just goes to show that there are actually people out there who wants to see the best for Jamaica. It's just for JFF and whosoever is in handling to do the right thing. But seems like that will never happen, and we're stuck where we're at with Tapa. And as I said in the video that I did, probably it's because of Tapa's low demand in terms of monetary figure. That's the reason why he's still at the helm. 5,000 US, nobody else now gonna take that. Everybody else
Nope.
is going to demand twice or triple times that. So that's probably part of the reason. With that being said, we're going to call it a night on the left. Thanks to all of you who have tuned in. And guys, remember, like the video if you haven't liked the video as yet. Because when you do that, it pushes the video more on YouTube so others can see it. Because people are going to say, oh, how the video have so much like? Tune into it. So that's the reason why we're telling you guys to ensure that you like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, because we want to grow as well. Just like we have you here and we entertain all of you guys, just go ahead and smash that like button and that subscription button. I want to say thanks to our producer Josh Carl who makes this possible. Thanks to Shakes who was back here for the first time in a long while. Happy that the man is back on the show. Big up to Chris for being here as well. Devin, Kems who was on earlier, spoke about Argentina. And with that being said, thanks again. Until tomorrow, stay safe, guys. Go and watch some more football. Peace out.